Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a tier 10 game in my Khabarovsk or however the hell you want to say it. Going over the matchmaking, have an enemy Saipan, radar threats, Worcester, Double Buffalo, Alaska, the destroyer threat, excuse me, just one Shimakaze. And this game we're going to talk a little bit about caps, because this is the stereotypical one destroyer matchmaking where you're going up against a destroyer that's very good at capping and your destroyer not so much. So right out of the gate, it's a Russian DD, particularly this one. I want to go where there's more open space, because I'm anticipating needing to basically fight my way into the cap, basically drive the enemies outside of this 9.7 kilometer circle and be able to keep them there long out of that detection circle long enough for me to basically take the objective. And there's a few different ways you can go about it, and I'm gonna show you some. So we've got the enemy Saipan coming in here. I don't really feel like, you know, picking a fight with this guy, so I just duck closer in towards my cruisers. It just looks like this guy's more interested in he's more interested in just getting a scouting run done. So I just go on ahead and shut my AA right back off and keep moving up here to CCAP. Make sure I don't run aground. Now right here I'm kind of thinking that the enemy team might actually be turning around and going south. Judging by their last known location. So I am gonna actually cut aggressively across the cap, and I'm taking this angle for a couple reasons. I'm anticipating any ships coming up here are going to take this route, so I want to try to keep this island in between me and them. Same thing with this island, basically try to limit my exposure to the enemy. That will deny them more of a chance to push in on me and basically detect me. So I do spot this Worcester up here. Actually, it might be this Zal detecting the Worcester. I try to call target on him, but the stupid ass UI is pinging the cap. And right off the bat, I'm a little worried. I'm gonna pause it right here. I have several very questionable moves being made. One of them, a Minotaur going all alone to A, and this dude is just sitting here behind the island. He's being pushed by a Buffalo and at least an Alsace. That tells me this guy's dead. This Alaska, he's contesting the cap against a Shimakaze. If I was this Shimakaze, I literally would just drive around the island and nuke this guy. I would lose maybe a third of my hit points, but he'd be gone, and you know, we'd have the cap. And then that leaves, you know, all of this. I am not wild about this Alaska being in here, not a lot wild about this Bismarck pushing into CCAP. It may look like these guys are far away, but once you get in here, it's very hard to get out without losing significant amounts of hit points. cruisers and battleships just are not, they're not maneuverable enough, they're not sneaky enough to be able to make that kind of maneuver. I do see this Worcester just trying to spot him, and I'm just gonna start opening up. I've got the cap, and then this Iowa pops up in my face, so he becomes priority target number 1. He's too close to me. This guy, if he knows how to shoot, can do a lot of damage to me. Thankfully, he's shooting elsewhere, and that buys me the opportunity to kite safely away. So even my push up here was a little too aggressive. The Iowa repaired 1 fire, so I just switch targets to this Tirpitz as I'm coming around the island. Tirpitz is a tier 8 battleship. I should be able to get fires on him pretty easily. And then here we go again. Got the Iowa in my face. The Iowa's ripple firing. And I'm coming up on the map border. I don't want to try to border scum or anything like that, so I'm just going to turn around. But honestly, I don't like my positioning right here because I'm getting further and further from B-cap. And this gets magnified by my team's position. Okay, now the Alaska has a Hindenburg rushing across the cap. The Hindenburg will kill him for sure. This Minotaur running for his life. But look at all these battleships. 1, 2, 3. 3 battleships all within this one little square. You know, why couldn't one of these battleships be in here? So if this Hindenburg tried to poke this Alaska, nuked. You know, one of them could have gone with the Minotaur and even just parked out here. They'd have shots into this Hindenburg already, and they'd be able to better hold off this. This is just lazy gameplay. I'm just gonna follow the biggest clump of idiots that I can find in the game. And the thing is, none of them are gonna keep up with this boat. You know, this ship's way too fast for the team. And this isn't like a Japanese DD you play right in front of your team. You know, this is about, you know, creating pressure against the enemy and trying to shove them off. So right here, you know, I've got this Iowa. I just stalled him out. He just pretty much slammed on the brakes, started reversing. And, I mean, we've got this Alaska here. You're not going to win this fight. I mean, there's an Iowa, a Tirpitz, a Worcester, an Alaska, and a Yamato that are all going to be able to either can shoot at you or will be able to shoot at you here shortly. And, you know, what's your help? You've got a Bismarck coming out, and you've got a Kaba. I mean, the firepower is orders of magnitude over and above, you know, what... Oh, and I just saw our Montana tried to push this with a Shimakaze last spotted there. I was wondering what happened to him, but yeah, that hurt right there. So right here, I am keeping this island between this huge clump of enemy ships. I was thinking about coming up here for a torp run, but the way this thing turns, I figured it would leave me exposed to all of these guys that could shoot me. So I'm just going to park here. I'm looking to see, you know, looks like my Alaska's stopping. Just going to throw some torpedoes out. It's not like I'm going to use them anytime soon. And I'm just trying to focus on the stern of this Iowa. And just get this guy worked down. Just using my AP. So we got the Iowa down. And I'm just going to kite south. There's no way that, you know, the 3 of us are going to be able to trade against this. There's just too much DPM. I'm switching targets to the Yamato. And again, as I kite out, I'm just going to keep this island between me and these 3 guys. And at this point, the map's already lost. All of our ships are basically in the 7 line and beyond. So I've got to try to do something to create, you know, some room for us. Try to, you know, make a play to get some of these caps rolled back. And, you know, it's a race against time for me at this point. This is a fast boat, but it's not this fast. I mean, we're going to lose another, you know, roughly 100 points once this Bismarck goes down. And I mean, you just don't come back from things like that. Focus in this Montana. Again, I need to get into B cap. I can't have this guy trying to push up through here. So just, you know, this is pretty aggressive positioning for trying to shoot at a Montana. This ship can really hammer me if he's shooting at me. He appears not to have any interest so far, so I'm just gonna keep, you know, throwing shots out there. But the issue is that as I'm trying to work on this Montana, it's, you know, it's delaying me getting into B cap. It's literally not safe for me to just push into B cap. I've got to try to, you know, get in behind islands and work my way in there. And finally got an angle where I think that I can do it. Still gonna keep working on this Montana, because I mean, you see how many ships we are down at this point. This game's not even, it's not even close. But what I am doing that here is this Montana is now forced back. This is opening the seam that I need to get into B cap. I've got my speed boost available, and I'm just going for it. And I see the push here, and I mean, the question is, do you try to cap B and then come back to C and try to fight this? I see this Republic pushing in. He's all by himself again. 1v3. It's just not going to happen. Don't care how good you are, you're not beating, you know, 3-on-1 odds. Nope, it's just not gonna happen unless you're just nuking a couple of them right out of the gate. It's just not happening. I'm cutting up into the cap here to limit this Montana's ability to shoot me. And right here, I'm really thinking about just rushing this Montana. But, and honestly, in hindsight, this might have been the better move. This is another one of those situations. Tell me what you think right here. Should I have went after this Montana? Doing so, I don't know where the Shima is. I'm assuming the Shima is somewhere down in here. I could probably kill this Montana. It would probably cost me at least half to 2/3 of my hit points, but I do have 3 heals. And I would basically be delayed long enough to have to circle back into the cap, try to cap this, and then try to defend C cap. The flip side is what I do here, where I try to make a, you know, just try to get this cap. I'm detected by this Buffalo. He's broadside, I'm loading AP. He's accelerating. He gets spotted by rocket planes. Now this CV doesn't seem like he's got any real interest in hitting me. So that's been one thing in my favor. Honestly, Kaba's probably not the easiest target for a CV to hit, even with dive bombers. So at this point, you can see, you know, I forced that Buffalo out of position. He's not able to shoot me now, so I'm able to take this cap, and you know, this is the situation I'm talking about, creating that space to be able to cap. Now here, you know, like I said, they weren't ever going to be able to hold this. I was looking to see if that Montana was going to pop up. Unfortunately, he didn't. They've capped C-cap, so my thoughts are, you know, it's a lost game. I'm just going to go down to C-cap, try to cap that, or to A-cap. Cap A, since it appears that it's a free cap. That'll stall out some of the points. It'll give me some additional XP. And at that point, I'll come back and just try to defend B-cap. And I pick up my Witherer. So just on B-cap, you know, one of the tricks that I was using that island cover just to conceal myself from the Buffalo, and that was another way to create that space that you need to be able to capture an objective. Here, I'm just utilizing my speed. It's relatively quick for me to be able to get from B to A, and you know, at this point, this sucks. I'm basically just sitting here for all this time trying to capture this point, and you know, I know they're steaming for B-cap right now. Now my Alsace, he's been doing a pretty stellar job, just kiting people. He wasn't one of these guys that, you know, charged into this situation, and you know, he basically, his positioning on the minimap over the course of the game has told me that he's basically, you know, kited and, you know, used his hit points and used his guns to give himself an advantage. Now here he's starting to push in, and I mean, we've got to push. It's 9:56. I'm racing to B-cap as quick as I can, and you're gonna see why this thing can is still a fearsome destroyer. So I've got something on the cap. I don't know if it's the shimmer. I don't know what it is. I'm not wasting any time. I want to maximize all the damage potential that I can get out of this game. I managed to beat the cap. I see the Alaska pop up. And this boat is, especially with speed boost, it is ugly to try to hit this thing up close. You can pull jukes like that all day, just absolutely ugly. I'm basically rushing in here, just 994. I need this kill. Boom, just dropping one set of torps. I know I'm likely to need the next. There's the Yamato. He's pushing me, just dropping another set of torps. I'm anticipating he's going to turn a little bit. By the way, we were at 120 something, 123,000 when I stepped onto this cap. CV can't drop me, I'm going too fast. I pick up another torpid on the Yamato. Unfortunately, no flood. Not sure how he didn't flood, because that was on his bow, it looked like. I'm going to start slowing this down, because I'm going to be going down here shortly. But here, I'm switching to AP. I'm doing more of the same, you know, focusing the bow, focusing sterns, doing what I can to maximize my damage. Again, I know this is a lost game. You know, here I'm going for the bow. And I think this is where I'm going down. I see that the bow's pretty saturated, so I'm switching to the stern. And here's the shot that's going to put me down. So anyway, let me know what you guys would have done different about this game. Maybe there was a path to victory, maybe not. I don't know, but hope you enjoyed the game, and I will talk to you later. Have a good night.